Borneo is the third largest island in the world. Located at its northern tip is the state of Sabah, one of the 13 states of Malaysia. Its forests are among the oldest in the world and provide a wide range of habitats that harbor diverse concentration of wildlife. The lower Kinabatangan, located in the northeastern section of Sabah, is the largest forest-covered alluvial floodplain in Malaysia and contains some of the few remaining examples of endangered freshwater swamp forest and lakes in Southeast Asia. It is home to countless plants and animals, some of which are found only in Borneo. For example, the proboscis monkey, with its undeniably distinctive nose. One would expect a unique area like this to be well preserved. Unfortunately, much of this forest is converted for agriculture and other uses, posing threats to its value. The Asian elephants, Sumatran rhinoceros, and orangutan have become endangered. Large-scale removal of the rainforest has caused soil erosion, leaving the river muddy. The basin has lost its function as a buffer in the event of a flood. These developments are not only detrimental to the environment, local inhabitants are also starting to feel the adverse effects. The loss of forest and fisheries resources along the river has affected the livelihood of the Orang Sungai, or the river people. Their lives are linked with the river and the forest. The river is their source of water, and the forest is one of their sources of food and medicine. Catching fishes and prawns was easy in the early years. 4 to 5 fish traps were always full of fishes and prawns, ample supply for the whole family. Most wildlife along the river bank as well, orangutan, monkeys, in particular the proboscis monkeys. In 1998, WWF-Malaysia, in collaboration with the Sabah Wildlife Department, set up the Partners for Wetlands program. WWF works with partners to maintain the natural capital, turning constraints into investment opportunities now and in the future. The most important partners in the Kinabatangan floodplain are the oil palm industry, the tour operators, and the local inhabitants. All these groups understand that despite their differing interests, they all share a common concern for a natural, well-functioning wetland. The talks with the various partners have started to show some results. A number of managers of oil palm plantations realize that cooperation is necessary. The oil palm industry, being a major agriculture activity in Malaysia, sees the importance of identifying workable solutions for agriculture in wetlands. Oil palm plantations face 2 major constraints. One being elephant intrusion into their plantations, and the other being regular floods, which deter the growth of oil palm in the floodplain.
Every year we're having this flood, right? Yes. So of course, with some assistance, we feel that this land, can be used, yes. All right, to plant something else. Yes. Apart from act as a buffer zone for the erosion and also the maximizing utilization of land, we also believe that perhaps with some of the wildlife sanctuary that have been gathered around here, yeah. So this area could link to that. Yeah. And maybe, we hope, like, some of these, pests, yes. That become our enemy, we utilize this area. All right, yeah. Instead of going and attacking our crops, So I think over the long term, maybe if this project is successful, as I said earlier, then perhaps, we have a very good long-term solution,
Other important partners are the tour operators. Tourism has been growing steadily in the lower Kinabatangan for the past 10 years. The biodiversity in the lower Kinabatangan is amongst the highest in Malaysia. It offers a great variety to nature tourists. Wildlife can be spotted from the river. It is important that the growing tourism industry benefits the local population too. These river people own much of the land on the banks of the Kinabatangan. If part of their income can be generated from tourism, they will be less likely to sell their land to outsiders and nature will be preserved. WWF also supports research along the Kinabatangan floodplain. The main focus of the research is on two endangered species, namely the Asian elephants and the orang-utans. The study focuses on forest fragmentation that affects the wildlife movement and habitat.
The Kinabatangan Wildlife Sanctuary is highly fragmented, and that situation does not create good habitat for wildlife. So it's very important now to link those areas with forest cover to facilitate the movement of animals. So that's one of the important reasons why we have to re-establish forest cover in the area.
The only way to prevent stressful situations like this is by creating corridors. And the oil palm planters have the key to that.
We will have different objectives, right, or different agenda, but I think there's nothing wrong actually for us to work together for the benefits of, for all, you know.
The Partners for Wetlands program represents hope for the future. A gradual change in thinking is taking place in Kinabatangan. About land selling, the community has realized the importance of keeping their land as an inheritance for the next generation.
Partners for Wetlands approach is unique. It's a new way of working in conservation. It provides solution in structural and sustainable changes. We're working with tourism industry to address issues such as carrying capacities, environmental impact in the tourism trade. Well-controlled tourism means a functional Kinabatangan tourism industry. A step towards addressing forest destruction is working with an oil palm industry in reforestation activities, planting natural species that can grow in flooded areas in the floodplain that would provide various functions such as filtering of silts, increased forest habitat and retainment of riparian strips. So these are some of the activities that the oil palm industry and Partners for Wetlands are working on. These are the start of our partnership results, with many more success stories to communicate towards one common vision.
The vision is clear. A forest corridor along the Kinabatangan River connecting the coastal mangrove swamps to the upland forests, where wildlife, nature-based tourism and local forest industries thrive and support each other. A floodplain that supports a thriving and diverse economy, offering opportunity and choice to local people and businesses, where mutual cooperation ensures good environmental management of the natural capital on which all partners depend. A landscape in which agriculture and nature conservation are united by their common source of vitality, water. The wetlands' vital role in buffering water flows and providing a secure supply of clean drinking water. Sharing the identity and natural values of Kinabatangan is a valuable asset in a global market, where sustainability is increasingly important to consumers, financiers and government institutions. In November 1999, the Malaysian government declared 27,000 hectares of land in the lower Kinabatangan as a gift to the earth. This is the government's commitment to conserve the lower Kinabatangan as a wildlife sanctuary, in order to protect its diverse wildlife and the floodplain.